Hello, I'm Dr. King Owen, and I'm going to take you on a tour through my Canvas pages, show you where to find everything and how I design everything so that you can be more successful as a student. Um, it doesn't really matter which Canvas course you're looking at. I design them to be roughly the same, and I use them all in the same ways. We're going to pick APUSH as our example. And I am going to switch it over to student view so you see it as a student sees it and not as a teacher. Student view is a little bit more simplified. There are fewer options, so it directs you only to certain places. On the far left, you can see there is the dashboard that takes you all your courses. Courses lists all your classes as well. Calendar is very useful here on the left. If you want to see everything by when it's due, that is, it has a due date, it will populate on the calendar. And on top of that, I maintain my makeups and retakes calendar in this calendar, so you can sign up to come in to take a test with me or to get help with me using that calendar feature. Inbox is if you want to send me an email in Canvas, or I want to send you an email within Canvas. And I really wouldn't worry about the last three. They're not really all that useful for you. As far as my navigation goes, you don't have that many choices in Canvas. You can look at pages, which is where I keep everything that is relevant for the class, and then grades. The grades tab is really useful because it will show you everything that you have done, and whether or not you've got a score or comment on that item. So for example, you can see here listed in order, starting with August 19th, we got a discussion post with a score. There's going to be some quizzes. Apparently, I didn't do too well on this quiz. Got a 0 out of 11. If I were to leave you a comment on one of these, you could click on the item and it would show you the comment itself. So this is really helpful for keeping track of what grades you are missing and making sure that you're on top of things and when they're due, because it's all easy to find right here. I'm going to go back to the home page. Notice that there's also a to-do on the right-hand side, which might be helpful for you as a student, to keep a track of what things are going to be done. You'll notice the X's allow you to X these to-dos out. So if you find this annoying or not really all that useful, you can just simply click it and it will go away. The to-dos will be in the order of the due date. So you can see this continues on down for the due date of that particular assignment. On to the middle. The middle of all my Canvas pages looks roughly the same. There's going to be a box with a link in it that will lead you to materials that are relevant for each of the units. There might be one that leads you to a big overarching menu that contains items that are good for the entire class. So not just a unit, but the whole class itself. A link back to grades again. And this box over here is not actually a link. It's just a reminder that if you're looking for an appointment, look at the calendar all the way on the left. There might be some other links as well that are useful, as well as the video on how to navigate my Canvas pages, you can see is linked right here. Let's look at a typical unit. My units are pretty much designed the same. It's like a grid. And there are navigation boxes at the top of each of the grids. So if you want to look at the material we're learning in that unit as a whole, you can click on the first thing here. It says Unit 1 Curriculum Framework. And that will actually take you to a list of all the goals and objectives for Unit 1 that we're learning. It might take you to a list of vocabulary. It might take you to a list of essential questions. It's different for different courses. This happens to be APUSH. So this link is things that, it's composed of things that the College Board says you need to be learning in APUSH. You can go back and see that the next part of the navigation is a forward button to the next unit. So if I were to click that, I can look ahead and see what's happening in Unit 2, Unit 3, on and on and on and on. But I can also go back to Unit 1 as well. For APUSH, I've divided my units into smaller chunks. So for example, chunk 1 is called Worlds Collide, and that consists of August 15, 16, 19, and 20. So the first 4 days of the class. You can see that the very first box in the grid is the day and the topic. So it'll give you a clue as to what we're doing that day, what to expect. I also like to play songs that are relevant to the course at the beginning of the class. So I've been keeping my APUSH playlist, so to speak, right here. You can see on August the 16th, I might play Single Ladies, I might play Go the Distance, I might play A Whole New World. Who knows? We'll find out. The next part of the grid is any print material to read. That could be a textbook, that could be a handout, that could be, in this case, the syllabus. And we will have a brand new book for APUSH, so I don't have the digital version of that just yet, but I'll be working on that once I get information in the fall. So you'll see that linked here, so you can have access to the digital text. Any lectures that will take place will be linked in the next box. I maintain a YouTube channel with all my lectures, and you'll be able to look at any lecture that you have missed or that you want to review again. Maybe you missed something, misheard something, misread something, who knows? The lectures themselves also have PowerPoints. So if you wanted to download the PowerPoint and take a look at the pictures that I used, or, follow along and type notes for yourself, you are certainly welcome to do that. Next will be assignments. So anything that I'm asking you to do will be in this next box. That assignment might be an in-class thing. So one of the first things you'll do for me is a survey. Tell me about yourself and what you're interested in, so I can kind of get to know you a little bit. There are, in front of each of the assignments, abbreviations for what kind of assignment it is. This one says HW, that's homework. And that means on August the 16th, after school, up until midnight, you get to read John Smith's account of the Indians. And I've left a little note here that we're going to discuss it in class the next day after you complete for homework. And that I will be providing you a print copy as well for those of you who prefer to have it like in hard copy. HW shows up a lot, so it just always means homework. And that means anything that's HW is due midnight of that night. If it says IC, that means in class. And that means that there is an activity that we're going to be doing that we will do on, say, August the 21st in class that day. So all of the page looks like this, all the way down, part 1, part 2, all the way till you get to the bottom, which is when the unit test is. So you can see Unit 1 will be over by September 5th, and we'll take a test on the 6th and the 9th. Tests, at least in APUSH, are always 2 parts. Other classes, the tests are different formats. So let's go on up again and notice that the last of the columns is a vocabulary list. So in all my courses, I will list the key terms that you should be learning for that unit. And at least in APUSH, I'm creating vocabulary flashcards, brand new this year, for you to practice learning these words. All of my courses will look very much like this, same format. They may offer different things, but I'll use the same, layout, the HW. My due date is always midnight for something electronic. So it's very consistent from class to class. So how do I use Canvas for work? Well, there are two primary ways that you'll see Canvas being used for work completed online. One is an assignment. Let's click on an assignment here. This particular assignment is a discussion post. And I've given you the material, giving you instructions, and you go down and click the reply button and you write your reply there to the discussion itself. Typically, discussion assignments are visible to everyone. So once you post, everybody will see your reply. They might be able to like your reply. They can respond to your reply. So discussions are really open and available to everyone in the class. I also use another kind of assignment, which is a quiz. And all of the quizzing and testing for APUSH at least will be done using the quiz features of Canvas. I also use the quizzes for exams in my anthropology and my gender studies and African American history courses as well. The quiz features in Canvas are just like a typical quiz that you would take in class, just electronically. It will tell you at the beginning the parameters of this quiz. Is this an actual test? Is this an exam? Is this a practice item? And can you take it multiple times? You can see for this one that you can have an unlimited attempt for this quiz. So you can take it many times. It will spit out a score and answer explanations. And then it gives very specific directions up here for when you have to complete it by. You can see I've already taken this quiz once. So I've got attempt 1 here. And if I were to click on that, it would actually show me attempt 1, all of my answers. And I didn't answer any of them, so I got a 0. And it'll also give me feedback on the correct answer as well. So if you do take a test multiple times, you will be able to look at your attempt history for quizzes like this. Other quizzes might have limited viewing of the attempt, so you may only be able to see the results under certain conditions, and that's generally to protect test security, especially when I do exams via Canvas. The quiz itself, if you click begin, this one just happens to be a multiple choice test. So you just put the dot in where it's supposed to go and then click next. You can also pin these if you want to come back to them and take a look at them again because you're not sure and you want to check it again at the end just to see if maybe your thinking has changed over the course. I'm gonna like zip through this, so I'll get another 0. Just so I can show you at the end what the submission looks like for it. In APUSH, at least, there's a lot of quizzing. It's just practice for the AP exam. When you get to the end, you click submit. Yes, I want to submit, I'm sure. It will auto grade. And yay, I got a 0 on this one again. Winner, winner here. So that's what a quiz looks like. The third kind of assignment is the assignment where you upload some work you've completed. So let me show you an example of that, and I'll use the summer work assignment for APUSH as an example. Summer work is due August the 30th in APUSH. And in this particular assignment, you see that it has the blue start assignment button in the right-hand corner. That's where you click to begin your work. You can upload a file, you can attach a video. If this were an assignment where you could video your work, you could do that. You can upload multiple files. So if you had a PowerPoint, a Word document, an Excel spreadsheet, multiple things, you can upload multiple things. You can also cut and paste as a text entry your assignment. So if, something happened and a Word doc was messed up, but you could cut and paste your text in, you could do that. You can Google Drive submit an assignment. So it will link to your Google Drive and allow you to pick some Google Doc or Google presentation that you created. Those are the three options. Since we don't do Canvas, we don't do Office 365, at least at Bexley itself, or OneDrive at Bexley itself anymore. Just we're Google Campus now. And I'd show you what that looks like, but when I'm pretending to be a student, it won't let me actually connect to an outside Google account. So that is the assignment feature where you have to submit an upload of something you've created. And when you're done, you can just click submit. The good news about Canvas is that if you submit and then you realize you goofed, you can go back and submit again, and Canvas will show me both of your submissions. So something went wrong, you can upload the correct thing later after you figure out what went wrong with it. And I'll be able to see both of them, the thing you originally did and then the new thing. Okay, I'm going to leave APUSH in the weeds there and take you back to the main menu. If you were to look at my other courses, you're going to notice they are the same. So if I were to go into anthropology, view it as a student, it's a very similar layout, course content, things that we're learning. Check your grades calendar, of overview of the entire course. The same thing will be for gender studies or African American history, whatever class I happen to be teaching. They're all the same layout, no matter what they are. That's been our tour of Canvas, just to show you where things are. If you have questions, please reach out. If you need help with anything, if something goes wrong, you can always screenshot it and send it to me so I can figure out, what's happening there. My job is to help you navigate this successfully because a lot of colleges use Canvas or something similar like it. So if you learn it now, and if you're really familiar with it now, it becomes a lot easier in the future. And I'm a very heavy user of Canvas. So a lot of the work we do in class will involve Canvas itself. So it does pay to pay attention to it. That's been our brief overview, and reach out if you have any questions.